Hello folks, Jonathan Milam here with another trumpet review, and I have here a nice horn from 1937. It is a New York Symphony Special. If it looks a little bit like the 22B, that's because it is from the 22B family. You can go to the Conn Loyalist, which is a wonderful wealth of information about vintage Conn horns, and find there Ms. Durkin's thoughts on the venerable New York Symphony Special. Not sure if they took these horns right off the bat and destined them to be Symphony Specials or if they were the finest of the lot. But please excuse me, just getting over the COVID virus and seem to have made a 100% return, except I do have a nagging little cough. Where most horns that Conn was making at the time finished their engraving probably somewhere in this general area, the Symphony Specials had engraving that went on up, I believe, although there's a lot of hand wear on this horn, but I believe at one point in good light I had actually seen some engraving that went all the way around the bell crook. And this one is a little different than most in as much as they took the engraving as well and went down the lead pipe course. Here it just says N.Y. Symph Spash. So, stands for New York Symphony Special. They continued the engraving on the last of the leg of the tuning slide and even down on the bottom. Both sides of the tuning slide carry the engraving, and you can see here a little star. If you can see that, not sure how we get our lighting to enhance that. That was, I'm told, by a Conn aficionado. Another indication that something is special about the horn. It could be the enhanced engraving. It could be as well slightly more of a copper content in the bell to give it a little bit of a darker sound. Great playing horn. This one, of course, has the first slide trigger. And let's see. That's the compression. And on the third as well, not 100%. I think I use Hetman 3 on it, but a very good valve action. When I first picked up the horn, and I'll mention this, I did buy it from a lady in Savannah, about 70 or 80 miles from me in Charleston. And she had been working in a nursing home. Her daughter came home from school one day and said, "I want to play the trumpet." And an elderly man in a nursing home said, "I've got a horn I'd like to give her." And of all things, he came out with this New York Symphony Special. Conn only made this about 5 years, somewhere between 37 and 42, if I understand correctly. What a jewel of a horn. What a very kind action. And she wound up liking to play the trombone. Is there no justice in the world? I guess maybe I should be thankful, because then I wind up being the happy recipient of this very nice New York Symphony Special. Okay, it has the #1 bore at the time, which was somewhere around the 430, 438, I believe, if I recall correctly. To me, it's never been the bore size that mattered. I've played small and I've played large, but to me, it's the receiver area, and of course the lead pipe that makes the difference. I find these and the Kings, vintage Kings that were also smaller, more very enjoyable to play. All right, we'll try and give you an idea of what the horn sounds like, and we'll play an old gospel number, "Count Your Blessings." Again, having come through COVID, I've got some blessings to count. Hope you enjoy the play. Hope it turns out okay sound-wise as well. Symphony Special. New York Symphony Special, and before I do forget, playing with a Reeves 42C, certainly not a shallow screech. I think leans slightly towards the commercial, but a great mouthpiece. And it does show some wear on it. Looks like somebody's wore all the silver off of the shank there. Great mouthpiece, marvelous horn. Thanks for being with me today. It helps so much if you can put a thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up, the like button. That really does make a difference. Hope you've enjoyed it. Any questions, experience, feel free to shout out and leave a comment. Have a great day, and as always, thanks for touching base with us.